Hello fellow YouTubers, this is YouTuber Moses here for my review on Machete.
But they soon realized they just fucked with the wrong Mexican. Machete.
Now this movie seems like a straightforward revenge movie, but let me explain it first. When ex-federale Machete, played by Danny Trejo, goes on a mission to take out Senator McLaughlin, played by Robert De Niro, he was double-crossed once again by the people who hired him, and then he goes on a mission to take them out along with the guy who has taken the lives of his family, Torres, played by Steven Seagal. And so he's accompanied by the help of the network, who are these Mexicans, these rebels, who had been waiting for a time to rise up against the anti-immigration group. When it comes to grindhouse movies now, Robert Rodriguez just throws it all in. We got violence, babes, explosions, blood and guts, which just makes the whole movie messy, incoherent, and inconsistent. And frankly, I enjoyed it. The movie first starts off with the action right away, and it also includes the damaged film grain effect that Robert Rodriguez used in Planet Terror. And that was really awesome at first. But unfortunately, they only used it for the first part, and I really wish they could have used it for the whole movie. While the whole time, the pictures shown like every other movie. I mean, I just liked how Robert Rodriguez utilized that effect in Planet Terror. But aside from that, the action and the special effects is something that these guys would put it in.
You mean ironic?
No way, peckerbutt. It's like an English word.
Cool?
Yeah, that's it. It was cool.
Yeah.
But the aspect that I liked the most was Danny Trejo as Machete. He was just awesome. I mean, from convict to character actor to the starring role that he deserves. And there were many villains in this movie, but the one that I found to be the best was Chef Fahey, because how his character never hesitates, and he's so intimidating playing it out. And there's Don Johnson, who plays Lieutenant Stillman, the man who likes to hunt down immigrants with his friends. And the one thing I don't get about it is that why does all the previews advertise him as introducing him into movies when he already has a past history of movie and TV show roles? Robert De Niro and Steven Seagal are more like fill-in actors for characters that are needed. I mean, aside from the beginning and the climatic fight, Steven Seagal's character Torres spends most of his time behind a computer screen up until that fight came. And when it got started, I thought it was alright. Up until when he was apprehended by Machete by getting stabbed in the stomach, it just got ridiculous because he was still standing and he starts monologuing like, "Oh, this is nothing. If I got stabbed by a swordfish, I would still be hopping on one leg." And I was like, "Jeez, just die already." Michelle Rodriguez was great in her part, both in acting and sex appeal. And before then, I used to consider her as my biggest turnoffs. And as for Jessica Alba, a lot of people say she was decent, but to me, I thought that any other actress could played her part and even better. Like, just because Robert Rodriguez included her in Sin City doesn't mean that he has to include her in every other movie as well. And if I heard her say this line again, I would have took it out myself.
We didn't cross the border! The border crossed us!
I'll also have to take some points off for the shootout at the church. Yeah. Like, we've all seen it in the trailers when Cheech Marin as the priest was fighting against the bad guys. Like, that was the only cool scenes with him in it. And I was disappointed by that because I thought there was going to be more with him. And when I see him shooting at the bad guys, it uses obvious CG gore that looks so fake. So in conclusion, I thought this was a really fun movie to watch, and if you're willing to turn your brain off for this one, I think you'll enjoy it too. Overall, Danny Trejo was awesome every time he was on screen. The bad guys are worth mentioning for, and Robert Rodriguez did another great job on what he's good at, and that's making an exploitation / Mexican movie that would say that Mexican culture rules. And people are going to criticize me for what I just said or what I'm about to give it. So out of 5, I give it 3.5 stars out of 5. So I found it to be a great movie to watch. I suggest you go watch it in theaters. Can't wait for Machete Kills. Okay, so that's all for my review. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back later. Until then, this is Yuto Moses, signing out.